Beautiful Tokyo. Booyah, just got off a very big flight, but thought it was important that I come to you from the future because we're a day ahead here. It is the January 28th, and I've got major international news as well. I'm going to cover the Deepseek Psyop. Again, none of that smelled right, even when it first came off the cuff. Yesterday, it felt like deep state to me, 100%. And I believe that this is the start of the AI, the artificial intelligence wars that I've been warning about for a very long time. And kind of my question to you tuning in, I know you guys are smart enough to decipher all this as well, is are you getting it yet? Do you understand what World War III is, right? World War III is an AI war. It is a crypto war. It is a blockchain war. It is a Bitcoin war. It is a tokenized real world asset war. It is a technological war. This is the war that we're currently fighting, and it has everything to do with what Donald Trump is doing right now and what he even did in his last administration with the Space Force, declaring that brand new entity of the military industrial complex. So I'd like to cover that first. It's very interesting that the US stock market got hammered earlier today. NVIDIA stock got crushed like 17%, but it's important to keep in mind that NVIDIA stock has been one giant Ponzi scheme parabola like for the last couple of years. So it's not a big deal to see a little bit of a dip. Crypto also was selling off aggressively. I told you to buy the dip. Both Mr. Donut and myself told you to buy the freaking dip. That was our earth-shattering video yesterday. Proven absolutely correct. Crypto is ripping higher as a result of people figuring out that, yes, Deepseek, or whatever it is, was one big deep state psychological operation and built on a foundation of lies, too. Obviously, China is using very advanced microprocessors and chips. Obviously, they didn't just spend $5 million developing that technology. That is all bold-faced lies. But the question is, why? Why did they introduce us to artificial intelligence so quickly after the lockdowns, right? It was perfectly sequenced and choreographed. I told you that they were going to do that. Why did they give us ChatGPT? Why are they making all these radical new singularity type inventions all of the sudden? How come Moore's Law is coming to fruition even quicker than many of us suspected? And I think we know what the agenda is. Again, I hope you're understanding what World War III is in the 21st going on, 22nd century here, where this is headed. This is an AI tech war. It is a currency war. It is a blockchain war. It is a war in space, fake space, and it is a war where global governments are now fighting each other and battling it out literally in nanoseconds, something that Eric Schmidt had spoken with me quite fluidly years and years ago when he explained to me and the general public, as you've read about and seen him on interviews, and I've interviewed him a few times as well, that, whole governments can be destabilized. And not just physical conflict, but EMP conflict, tech conflict. China, for example, or an enemy rogue nation could be attacking our networks, Wall Street, our systems, etc. Here's the great news about all this, though. Here's the big, bold, in-your-face, hard-hitting and in-your-face gold Rolex news for all you tuning in. This actually exemplified everything I've been telling you for the last several decades now. This actually showcased the power of what I've been promoting and recommending to you all for a very long time, Bitcoin. And by the way, we have huge news coming with the Bitcoin Reserve, which, by the way, is not just a Bitcoin reserve, and I'll talk about in a moment, is a crypto digital asset reserve. And we're going to talk about those profound implications. But now that we're seeing some steam come out of the US stock market and some of these high-flying stock picks like NVIDIA, it's only showcasing that the decentralized gold standard, that this new form of energy, okay, this new declaration of freedom and sovereignty over all of our lives, where money has been separated from the state and given back to the people, is actually the most powerful weapon, I believe, in the universe, not only in terms of building material wealth as it's now trading above $100,000, like I said that it would be, and it's going to go to millions of dollars very, very soon. Keep in mind, and I'm not pat myself on the back, although I sometimes do. I'm the guy that told you to buy it under 1,000. Okay, when Donald Trump was calling it a scam, and he said that for his entire administration. Now he's figured it out. We applaud him for doing that. He is going full like bonkers mode here in the United States. He's doing I think a really great job moving forward. We saw with some very aggressive action in California, giving Californians badly needed water by actually using the USMILITARY, which also has some implications too. What else will he use those troops for that the American population may or may not like? In the future, because that lays the groundwork for it, kind of like post 9/11 with the Patriot Act. Also, we had complete meltdowns from what's her name? I don't follow these actresses or actors too well. Selena Gomez, I think her name is. She was bawling on camera because of the ICE raids, because Trump's going after all the undocumented immigrants in the country and he's cleaning house. So, we really do see post the election, Trump going full-fledged, like doing everything that he said he was going to do. And I commend him for this. I mean, he's been going full force ahead. He even brought Free Ross out of prison and pardoned him as well, along with all the January 6ers. So this is huge news. But where does this position you and your families? Again, you see beautiful Tokyo behind me. We're in an internationalized, decentralized world now. That's what you need to understand. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain, Bitcoin have done more than just make people rich. Okay, like many of you tuning in that have actually taken my advice. You're in Island Project. I've got so many of you millionaires in the project now that own all this real estate with me and my father, my team, and it's absolutely amazing. But this has created a situation where private new ecosystems, like city-states within themselves, actually coexist with sovereign governments. And I want you to really think this through, because one of the best books to explain this was written actually before the launch of Bitcoin. And by the way, it's a little bit of a psyop in and of itself, because it's got forwards in it from some very powerful people. And I actually read it long before Bitcoin was even invented. And it makes you wonder, how did they know all this stuff in advance? But it talks about that, how the fact that economies, the ability to make money and store wealth, has now been given to private citizens and removed from, taxing governments and, in some cases, too aggressive governments, and in other cases, even dictatorships and strong-armed governments. It's opened up this whole new possibility for decentralization and freedom on a world stage. This is actually an incredible thing for you to think about. And I want you to think about this as in terms of your own success this year in 2025, which I believe is going to be our biggest year that we've ever had. Again, even if you're looking at it from a cynical perspective, the elites can't crash crypto because their goal is to onboard everyone to it now. You see, the reset was always blockchain and the technology that I've been telling you to study and invest in all this time. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin is bad. And I've said this many times before. Bitcoin is freedom money. It is decentralized, by and for the people. It is separated from the state. That's an incredible technology. But in addition to that, we always knew that governments, because they can't pay back their debt, they've lost complete control with inflation. They're creating intentional hyperinflation. They're creating the forced bailouts in 08 and 09. They're telling you who the essentials and non-essentials are. They're screwing you with record amounts of debt and rising costs of living and home prices and all these kinds of things, which are never going down again. It's always been obvious that they're going to embrace, at the very least, co-opt this new system, which is what they've done. And so this is what is happening now. And don't have them come back a little later, please. Thank you. So we've always known that this is going to be the trajectory that where we've been going. They're bringing some luggage up right now. Let's talk about what's going on with the Bitcoin reserve. Okay, it's very important, and there's a lot of Bitcoin maxis out there, and I love Bitcoin, but I'm not a Bitcoin maxi. I believe in all kinds of competition. I believe in competing technologies. I believe that there's incredible use cases for XRP. I remain a very large investor of Ripple. and their technologies and XRP specifically. I believe there's use cases for Ethereum. I believe that there's even use cases for Solana, which I've criticized because it's much more of a Wall Street coin platform blockchain. But we also see some of its advantages. For example, when Trump launched his meme coin token drops with Trump and Melania, we saw it was blazing fast. It can do thousands more transactions than Ethereum can prior to Ethereum's upgrade, which is coming Q1, which is going to be very, very bullish. And the fees are incredibly low. So I'm pointing out, why am I going into the details of each blockchain here, not to sidestep my main point, is that it's very important for all y'all to understand that the Bitcoin sovereign reserve in the United States will not just be made of Bitcoin. Okay, Trump has already signaled with his purchasing at World Liberty Fi, which is his new DeFi platform. I hope you're educated on this. Again, you would know all of this at score if you've been following me for any period of time, because I've been educating you about all this tech and Bitcoin for years now, for going on, over 12 years. Has been rapidly buying not just Bitcoin, but all kinds of various cryptos as a part of his platform. In fact, what he's really stacking right now and also will be staking for a yield is Ethereum. So what's happening in the market? We just got this whole, so I'm hitting the nail on the head. This is why the Deepseek deep state fraud Psyop was just launched. They're carefully crafting an anti-China narrative. Okay, that's what they want. They're creating in the minds of the masses and the people, the dumbed down, sheep, not you tuning in, but this whole idea that we're now entering a stage of war with China regarding AI and all this tech, right? Sam Altman, ChatGPT, Elon Musk's Grok versus the evil Chinese. And so this is a narrative that's going to build much more significantly in the future, and really truly is how they are going to position the world war. I don't know if you saw this, but New York is actually running drills right now in preparation for a nuke event. That's interesting because I actually predicted that there was going to be one. It's one of my major predictions. Again, that there would be a false event, but it would be a tactical, and it'd either be in the West somewhere, probably Europe, but could also hit the United States. So it's interesting. Let me just show you this article real quick because I tweeted on the plane. Luckily, we had internet while we were flying over the ocean. And please like and share this video. It's up to you guys, to beat these algorithms and get this information out. But they're actually running drills right now in New York City, led by the three-letter agencies in New York amid fears of World War III. Again, with perfect sequence and timing of this Deepseek AI launch. So again, why have they put this out there? Number one, the entire financial system, stocks specifically, are rigged. Okay, the too big to fail elites can pull the plug on that in any moment, in any second, and they will at some point in the future. And Donuts even pointed this out on camera as well, and I think it's a very smart look that the establishment is crumbling right now. So the old system is burning down. It's going away. Okay, that's going to be rocky. There's going to be explosions, so to speak, going off within the infrastructure of the West. Its money system, its debt, its economy, its labor force with the introduction of robots. All the big tech titans are telling you, prepare for robots. All of them are telling you how excited they are to have humans replaced by machines. All of them are telling you about this amazing new transhuman agenda that they have planned. So I hope this is starting to add up. And the topics that I kind of have to, stay away from. But all of this congeals and leads to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. And this has been the larger agenda that I think a lot of us have seen, I of course have seen, and I believe many of you that have been following me all these years have seen. We always knew that this was the general direction. Again, keep in mind, we're now in a state of affairs in the United States of America where Trump has gone from Bitcoin and crypto and digital assets are a scam and he prefers the US dollar, to now he is the crypto Bitcoin mafia god. He's the meme god in the United States. Like, I want you to think about how incredible that is, that the president, the most powerful man alive, allegedly, his primary focus is Bitcoin. I really want it to sink in for a second, though, and understand how impactful and big of a deal that is. Like, we didn't just hit the nail on the head along with all of you here on this channel and make you rich. We've literally uncovered the number one asset infrastructure and the number one way of where the world would transition into an entirely new civilization and system with the reveal of Bitcoin. And I always knew it was that big. I always knew it was actually bigger than money. And so we have this opportunity now, and this is what I really am urging all of you to seize. I mean, you see me out, I'm traveling all over the world. We're aggressively buying real estate all over Hawaii. That's already been mission accomplished. We've got more properties we're buying on the Hawaiian Islands. We're closing on a new beachfront, a spectacular place at Hapuna Beach very, very soon. You're familiar, obviously, we've been buying in Utah as well. We've got a dramatic $6 million ski lodge. Now we're aggressively expanding internationally because, again, this is not something that I just realized like today. Like, I understood this 2 decades ago, even before Bitcoin was invented. I come from the banking world, and even when I got my first job, I realized that we didn't need the modern infrastructure of all those buildings and all those bricks and all those people. And we didn't need all those printers. And we didn't need all the waste. It was unneeded. They were just giant buildings of like skeletons employing all these people that didn't need to be employed. It was very easy to figure that out with the advent of the internet and how the internet of itself changed our economy, how social media decentralized it, and how those technologies also empowered people like me who seized upon them to go on the internet and literally build entire companies with just a cell phone. And so we're going through the same kind of reindustrialization now. And this is even what the elites are calling it. They're calling it a reindustrialization. So this is like bigger than the invention of fire. It's bigger than the invention of electricity. It's bigger than the invention of the wheel. I forgot to turn my notifications off, so my phone's blowing up at the same time. But I love you guys. Thank you for responding to all my tweets and stuff. That's so cool of you. Thank you so much. And please like and share this video. So my point is, we're going through a radical shift that even the haters and the deniers that have said that Bitcoin was a scam and governments are going to ban it, now they have to come to the realization that governments love it. They're actually going to introduce it. They support it. I mean, Trump's dropping freaking memes, for crying out loud. And he's also establishing a Bitcoin reserve, but it's really a digital asset reserve. So this is going to include, and we're getting major announcements tomorrow. And this is, I believe, going to include a host of digital infrastructure and digital assets. There's also a reason why I've been pointing you to real world assets, because again, I believe that the biggest opportunity in this space is not just Bitcoin, but it's tokenized real estate and tokenized RWA, otherwise known as real world assets. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, all those big entities that have unlimited funds are now moving in now. And they're going to tokenize everything from the stock market to condominiums to homes. The list goes on and on. We're going to see this with ETFs, index funds, etc. This is also why my number one pick, again, I'll add a link here in a minute. I'm telling you guys to get in. I have to say it's not financial advice, is RSR. It's reserve rights token on the Ethereum chain. There's also a base chain equivalent, but I'm recommending the Ethereum chain. For those of you who don't understand, there's multiple chains. So certain tokens trade on different chains. And there's pros and benefits and cons, versus on different chains. I'm recommending RSR. Reserve Rights Protocol is a technology that is a principal investment of Sam Altman and Peter Thiel, some of the most powerful men in the world. And Sam Altman, of course, at the helm of ChatGPT, much to the chagrin of people like Elon Musk that are competing with him. So it's very obvious that this is the next layer of the internet where we're all going, and how technologies like Reserve Protocol, in my view, because they tokenize assets in a diversified way, called a diversified token folio. They call it DTF. It's kind of funny. It's supposed to be a meme like that, but they're tokenizing in a basket index funds, exchange traded funds, stocks, real estate, gold, silver even, which I'm a big advocate, owner, and investor in all of that. And again, notice everything I've sold you everything I've told you and everything we've done here at AMTV and Island Project for the last 2 decades since we started this platform has been giving you exactly what you need way ahead of the curve. Whether or not it's gold, silver, social media marketing skills, education, or it's now been Bitcoin, crypto, and now tokenized real world assets, as we're already pushing into the new trends as people are starting to awaken to the fact that Bitcoin's a thing. So, just keep this in mind too. We've got the masses now onboarding. This is why principally it is my belief that the elites will not crash crypto this year. They will actually pump it to new record highs because you've got to create excitement and you've got to create the greed factor. Otherwise, governments can't sell their new system to their populations. So we really are in a situation where governments are clamoring for power and they're losing power. They're losing power to sovereign individuals and very wealthy people that have become wealthy with these new technologies and are realizing they don't even need governments, that they can be independent, that their currencies and their companies are digital. They don't even need to be domiciled in a various or specific state. And this is why we're seeing governments, including Trump, and I think he's trying to do the best thing for America, but this is why he's pushing aggregation of even new countries into the smorgasbord of the West, Canada, Greenland, Gulf of America, because they want to grab as much power from the state's perspective as they can before things get too out of control. And the average Joe, even though they sell this to you all the time, right? America, go make money and, be a cowboy and, it's all about success in American entrepreneurship, but they don't want you to get too big for your britches. Like they don't want you to compete with them, right? The state entity. And that's really where we are. And that's why Trump's, I think, done some incredible things, pardoning a lot of significant figures in the blockchain crypto communities. Roger Ver is another one who's asking for a pardon. I don't know if Trump is going to negotiate that or not, something that he should look at and use his discretion on, I believe. But I wanted to do this very important video update, even though I'm a little tired. And I just got off a big plane. I'm coming from you from the future of Tokyo, and we got a lot of really cool, interesting, content coming. Also, meme wars have exploded. So right now we're seeing meme tokens on all various chains. I'd be on the lookout for base chain right now. In fact, that's kind of what I'm looking at just for fun memes at the moment, because Solana had its pump, but don't underestimate Coinbase and Brian Armstrong. They've got their own chain themselves called Base. But Base is a little different from the standpoint, it doesn't trade as a native token. Base uses Ethereum. And so the way that you trade Base tokens is you actually bridge Ethereum and you bridge it to Base, and then you can trade Base memes, even RSR on the Base chain. And that has, various advantages like faster transactions, lower fees, etc. And we're seeing a lot of new exchange listings come to market. I did want to point that out too. One of the reasons why I'm so bullish on RSR is, number one, like they're one of the first, companies in the world, USA based, San Francisco based, which Trump has alluded to. There could be significant capital gains and tax advantages. See your CPA. I'm not a tax attorney, so I can't give tax advice, but he's saying there's going to be maybe even like the elimination of capital gains for USA based companies. Also knowing that the general direction of Wall Street and all the big money is moving into tokenized assets and tokenized real estate. But I just wanted to point out even just another upside to it is that RSR will be listed soon, I believe, on major exchanges like Coinbase. And that in and of itself will 10x the price overnight just because it's being listed. Because of increased regulatory clarity in the United States is super, super bullish for cryptocurrency and blockchain. So where's this all headed? This year, I really do believe will be a golden age, like Donald Trump declared for wealth creation. I do believe we're going to get a golden age of prosperity. I do believe if you're in crypto, you're going to get meaningfully a lot more rich this year. I do believe it's the number one place to make your first $1 million, which is why I'm telling you guys to get into islandproject.com. We've already built it for you. We already put in all the hard labor and work. We already own all the properties, and now we're freaking expanding all the way into Asia, for crying out loud. So call my dad and learn about what we're doing and go over the host of exclusive multi-million-dollar properties that we all own fractionally with true 100% ownership, all the capital gains, just like if you bought your own house, but better because we want a diversified portfolio of it. And we're also tokenizing it. And you can use it. And you can hang out. And you can visit. And you can spend a vacation there. I mean, again, spend your money at a hotel, never get your money back. Spend your money in an Airbnb, never get your money back. Invest with us. You come in with $1 million. You own $1 million of real estate all over soon to be the world in the founders round. And you can actually use your property. And as it appreciates, you make money. Like, let it sink in for a minute. This is how big this technology is. And never before in world history could we have built this without the advent of this radical new infrastructure that we've been on the pulse on for a very, very long time. All glory to God. With that being said, so I want you guys motivated. I want you to understand miracles are going to happen this year in your life. I want you to understand that the testing and the trying and the hard seasons that maybe you've been in are over. God's going to grant everything that you need, not always what you want, but everything you need this year. He's going to bless you and your families immensely, but you're going to have to work really, really hard. You're going to do it with us this year at islandproject.com. You're going to onboard and join our private ecosystem. You're going to join like minds. You're going to get your education up. You're going to get your health up. You're going to start traveling like I am, moving and shaking and networking. And all that's great. All that's amazing. Donald Trump's right. It is a new golden age. It's going to be up only in crypto all year. I'm talking billions, trillions will be minted in the crypto blockchain market. But with that being said, we also know where governments are taking us, just like the Deepseek Psyop earlier today over the last 24 hours. This is all a part of what I believe is them, the people in power, the powers that shouldn't be, crafting their narrative to the masses that, China's a threat and the USA is a threat to China. Oh, and they might have better AI than us. And it's a new Sputnik moment, according to the other, deep state guys. No, it's not a new Sputnik moment. What the equivalent of it is, if you don't know what the Sputnik moment is, go look it up. But the equivalent of it's more like a fake moon landing. In my opinion, it's a crafted narrative, which is what they need right now. Again, governments always kind of need people in a constant state of fear and crisis mode and war. So just understand, we are in World War III. And this has been one of my primary messages for the longest time. But the world war you're fighting is a lot different than what maybe your grandfather fought in World War II or World War I. This is tech-based. This is AI-based. These are currency wars. These are sovereignty wars with sovereign individuals, like many of you tuning in that just want to be free, that are making tons of money in crypto and are realizing, wait a minute, my businesses are online. They don't need a state. So why am I at a state? And why do we pay taxes to a state if the companies are online and they make all their money outside of the system? Even the currencies we're transacting in, meme tokens or whatever they are completely out of state sovereign control. Now, again, governments want to come in and they're going to clamp down and provide regulatory clarity. And that's why they're coming in with force right now, which will only push prices much, much higher. But that's kind of where we are. So, you have an opportunity right now where the window is still narrow, but we're in this disruptive phase that if you're smart, you can seize and take advantage of these opportunities in a very meaningful way. And I'm living proof of that. I mean, again, if you would have ever thought a guy producing videos from his basement would now be leading with billions of views around the world and all this experience and innovating in the number one technology and the first to do it, all glory to God, and fractional, tokenized, soon to be real estate, people would have said you're nuts. But see, that's what people don't understand. So many people out there don't believe in themselves. They don't believe that they can do big things. They don't have a vision for the future. They have no product. They don't even have anything to show for it. And this is why we focus so hard. And I also want to give thanks to my father and our team members and our members, of course, because we've all worked so hard where now we have a proof of concept, real life portfolio that's tangible, real, and has already been built. And now we're literally moving into the greatest revolutionary moment in tokenized assets in this space that is arguably more important than the invention of fire or electricity or the wheel. And is the new reindustrialization age as we move to robots, AI, and what the elites are doing that I don't even like. Like, again, I'm not a humanist. I don't believe in that. I believe that, you should be fit and strong and try to treat your body like a temple. Nobody's perfect, but at the end of the day, we need to go with God. These people are actually trying to live forever. They're like seeking a fountain of youth. They want to merge themselves with these machines. Okay, they're going to replace every body part and every organ where they don't even know who they are anymore, and it won't even be them anymore. They're uploading their consciousness into the cloud, and they're selling this idea that, well, your brain's going to be decentralized now. So, Christopher, you just put your brain out there and it's going to bounce off computers. Like, again, I'm against that, actually. Like, I don't believe in any of that. But I do believe, and I know wholeheartedly from the bottom of my heart and soul, that we are in a spiritual war and battle today, and we're all here for a reason. And there's a reason we've been the lightning rod, along with all of you here at Greenwave, in the very beginning, AMTV, and now islandproject.com. And this really is your moment and opportunity to do big things with us. I'd love to hear any comments, questions in the box below. Again, crypto is going to be wild this week. We're getting huge announcements from Trump. Trump's gloves have completely come off. He's making huge moves just on the daily. It's hard to believe this guy's only been in power for like a few days. And also, too, maybe we'll do a deep dive later as we're cruising around Tokyo. Booyah. But Donut and I were looking at the new, deep state logo here, just trying to kind of figure out, I see the all-seeing eye. It almost kind of looks like a ghost or a wave or a missile or something like that coming out of the whale. Like, again, none of this felt right. Like, they don't just suddenly release technology out of the blue. They didn't suddenly come up with ChatGPT post the lockdown. All of this has been X. You know what that stands for, right? You know what X stands for, like X, the Twitter. But in general, like X stands for Black Ops X projects that the government doesn't tell you about. All of it's connected, all of it. It's one big data mining operation. This is all one big onboarding to where we knew we were already going. Data collection, right? Social media, collecting all of our data, monetizing it, tracking it, then building out new infrastructure webs, new transportation systems, self-driving cars, robots, the topics we're not allowed to talk about from a few years ago. All of it is connected. You just follow the yellow brick road. And that's how, honestly, I always knew from the very beginning that Bitcoin and crypto and digital asset technologies would eventually, at the very least, be co-opted by governments. But the thought that I originally always had, and I believe is fact, is that it was always just like the creation of the internet. Started as a petri dish at DARPA, then open sourced and released to Silicon Valley. There's a lot of great freedom, liberty fighters, people in the space, libertarians fighting, building cool stuff, just like what we're doing, but we're in a war between state control, governmental power, X projects, and the people we don't like, and then all of us that just want to be free and God-fearing, live a great life, have a bunch of kids, raise them, see them grow, see them smile, and be happy. So if that's what you're about, I encourage you guys, click the links below. I'm going to add them in a minute. Make sure you're onboarding and hit a tier at islandproject.com. You can also call or text my dad at 808-442-2934. That's 808-442-2934. But make sure you fill out an app at islandproject.com. It's very easy to do. That's the quickest way to onboard right on our website. I'll never reach out to you on WhatsApp. Okay, I'm not friend requesting you. I don't have time to do that on Facebook. So be careful and vigilant and be on the lookout for imposters. I am a public figure. Okay, so the best place to go is here. Our official islandproject.com website, our secure encrypted website. This is where you can fill out your app. And of course, we launched the Island Project 2 years ago, July 2022, on July 4th, declaring our independence in a bear market. And I want you to keep in mind when I launched that. I launched it when everyone said crypto was going to go to zero. I launched islandproject.com when everyone told me Bitcoin was a scam. Yep, that's right. I launched islandproject.com. I remember when I told my dad, this is when we're going to launch now. At that time, when everyone said governments, oh, they were going to get rid of that Bitcoin. Now you got Trump as the Bitcoin freaking cheerleader. You've got every government around the world stacking sats. It's hilarious. And we always knew it was going this direction because I can sniff the deep state shenanigans from a mile away. And as I have educated all of you to pivot, leverage, and profit from what we know is coming. We're the Christian spearheads. We are the spiritual warriors. We are the God, faith first individuals that have formed a collective in a private ecosystem that is powerful, that is brought to you through the power of Christ. And nothing can stop that. Nothing. And that's the incredible thing. So I hope I say that enough, but really what we've done has always been a vision, but it's been a vision and it's been a commandment from him. And it's allowed us to achieve really, I believe, greatness in his image and not of ourselves. And that's what I think is so beautiful. So the world's going to be kind of dark this year in a lot of ways too, like we've shared. We know we're in end times, guys. Yeah, we know they're posturing and positioning for World War III. Yeah, we know what they want to do to human beings. We know that about their transhuman agenda. We know what they're going to do with the robots. We know what they're doing with everything else. Come on, guys. And I think that that's old news. Honestly, it's not even really worth talking about that anymore. What we need to be doing now is getting more aggressive, getting super aggressive, which we already are. We've already built this stuff. We're continuing to build. But we need to be innovating and pushing within what's happening now. And that's the action that you need to take. Just like if you're getting in shape. You know, you can sit on the couch eating a couple Doritos or whatever going, man, I'm getting kind of fat, Christopher, over here. But that doesn't do anything. What you need to do is slap yourself or punch yourself in the face a few times, you know, grab your diamond nuts and get on the freaking treadmill. So you got to start small. And those small actions lead incrementally to big success and big outcomes. Again, I've always loved Tony Robbins. He said this, and he said it many times. People overestimate what they can accomplish in a year, underestimate what they can accomplish in 10. That is completely and utterly true. But I would even revert that slogan a little bit more to now with the advent of technology, the democratization of the internet. Now with AI, I mean, dude, like you can do everything using this stuff now. I mean, all of the high-end, even white-collar jobs, careers aren't even really needed. I mean, this is replacing entire legal firms, entire corporate infrastructure. This is replacing entire groups of people, of employees. Like corporations and you, small businesses, basically don't have the same power that General Motors had with like thousands of employees. And so we need to use these tools and technologies like a calculator and then put it to good use. And, you know, that's why we built the digital Noah's Ark. So I'll leave it there. It's been a tiring day, and we're very excited to be out here in Tokyo. And I'll be looking at some outstanding real estate again. I looked at some real estate last time we were here, traveling all through Asia. So I'm super stoked about that. God be with you all. Just understand, don't get shaken out, right? Every time there's like a Deepseek event, people are like, oh my gosh, oh, the Deepseek's there. It's fake. Just understand the elites have you exactly where they want you. They want you broke and poor. This is why they told you Bitcoin was a scam. This is why they told you not to buy it. And I told you the exact opposite because we know who they're working for. They ain't working for the good guy, okay? They aren't the good guys, and they aren't working for God. I love you all. Please like and share wherever you are in the world. This is probably coming out late night or early morning from the future in Japan, all the way back if you're in the West. And then if you're international, I'm streaming live right now. So I love you guys. Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm expecting a massive, massive move in the crypto markets to continue because it has to. That's how they're going to onboard the general populations to their new system. And it's how even Donald Trump's going to take credit for it. Again, it's extremely important for Donald Trump to be the Bitcoin crypto god of the United States of America now. He's declared himself literally the man of the space. And I guarantee that Donald Trump will see that happen. I mean, again, he's a very strong person, and he does what he's going to say. So expect that. Expect Donald Trump to be speaking in front of large crowds in the United States and congratulating everyone for Bitcoin trading at $1 million. It's going to happen. But up next comes 150, 250, 500K. All these altcoins, especially the ones with real use cases, keep rallying to the moon. And then real projects with real utility are going to be the ones left standing, 1000xing into the future and giving you, your families, freedom, liberty, and what I believe is, not just spiritual prosperity, but also the tools that you're going to need in an increasingly dangerous and challenging world. Again, more inflation, lack of true ownership, prices will continue rocketing higher. I'm also going to be watching a Japanese yen carry trade situation going on. It'd be kind of interesting because I'm actually in Japan. That is a significant factor here, and with Western markets as well, in stocks and the stock market. So I'll be kind of looking at that, and maybe we'll even pick up some cool interviews and bring on some other individuals too during our stay here. I love you guys.